Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hello, welcome. It's stream time.
It is stream time. I actually hid this chair behind me and then I moved. So we're just going to hide it.
There it is. You can push it fully off.
No.
Okay.
Well, I thought about it. Oh no, it's still there. You'll never know.
You'll never know. It's so subtle.
Yeah, they would never have known. They would never have known.
Hi, Logan.
Logan, how's it going? Oh.
Snap.
So we're here after last week's
Deep discussion.
I mean, I must have spent hours. I spent hours on that PowerPoint, and Corey's like, "What do you want to do this week? Anything fun?" And I was like, "What if?"
What if we took it easy?
We just talked and just didn't do anything. I mean, we normally just talk, but this one we have to do less prep.
Yeah.
Joke's on you. I did another PowerPoint. No, I didn't. But it would have been
You pull like a TV, like in elementary school.
Here we go. I'm ready. Let's go. Yeah.
My boy.
Yeah.
There
Look at
he
this. How you doing?
I'm also wearing... It's just cold
He's
in here.
stripping on stream,
This is
everybody.
for you.
$5.
$5 a month gets you access to more than that. We just keep it. It was when I walked in this studio. It was 63 degrees in here. I was freezing, and I'm never cold.
It's so
I
cold in here.
immediately bumped it up.
They do keep this place really cold. I mean, once we get everybody in here,
It warms up for sure.
it does warm up really fast.
3 hours of 6 people, 7 people in a room, and like several monitors going.
And we're stressing.
And we're stressed.
It's not like chill time. A lot of us are like pretty stressed the whole time.
We're not doing relaxed math. This
No.
is stressful math we're doing back here.
What is really funny is that like there's an interview. I think I've said this many times to you. To you in particular, actually. There's an interview where a guy goes along the street and he just like goes up to people really like big and he walks up to them strong and he's like, "Name a woman."
Yeah.
Name any woman. And they can't name a woman because like they're in the moment and it's like they couldn't even name their mother. They have 0 women that they could name. And it's just because they're under pressure. And I'm like, that's how I feel playing this. Because it's like, what is 3 + 5? And I'm like, where's my calculator? Where is it?
That's exactly what happened to me on, I think it was the finale of the Secrets miniseries.
Yeah.
I fully forgot Colby and Brett's name. And I was like, oh,
yes.
I'm such a bad friend.
Yeah. No. And it'll stress me out because then I'll like second guess. And I'm like, but is it?
It's probably...
I've known this person my whole life. And now I'm like, but is his name Corey? Am I just thinking that?
Or is it Kobe? It could
Maybe
be either.
It's Kobe. Is it Kobe? Was there an R in his name the whole time? And I'm like, and then I don't want to say his name, and then it's like awkward because I'm
what's
trying
up, dude?
frame sentences around.
There's a guy I see that delivers stuff to my job once a month, and I still don't know his name after like 6 or 7 months of me doing this, and I feel bad because I've asked several people and they've told me his name, and and he's so nice and he remembers my name every single time, and I'm like, I feel like an asshole.
I panic. I actually make it work. What is happening over
This
here?
annoys me. Okay, no, we're good.
I'll panic when people tell me their names because I don't want to forget it.
Yep.
And then because I'm panicking, I won't hear what they say, and I'll forget it. And then it gets worse the next time I ask for someone's name because I'm like, I forgot it last time, so like really this time pay attention. And I'm like, pay attention the whole time, and I forget it again.
The trick I always hear is to ask them how to spell their name, and then I did that once, and somebody was just like, it wasn't literally her, but they were like, Jen. I was like, yeah, okay, I can't get out of that one, huh?
Well, what if it's G-E-N?
Yeah, what if you got a soft G?
Yeah. I don't know. At one point, I had a system going, but I forgot what the system was, so it doesn't help anybody anyways.
It was good when it was there.
It was good, and it worked really well. But I'll, like, try and relate it to another person that I know that has that same name, I think. And I'll be like, oh, it's just like that person. And then sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
I just own it. I just walk up and I go, "Hey man, I forgot your name. I'm sorry."
Are you gonna say that to that guy that you've known for 7 months? That's really nice. That remembers your name.
No, because I see him for 30 seconds every time. I don't want to deal with that. But if I'm in a conversation with him if I'm at somewhere and I have to be around them for a while, then I'll be like, "Hey man, I forgot your name. My bad." But if it's just somebody I have to pass for 30 seconds, I don't want to do it.
How long do you wait if someone has your name incorrect and you've known them for a long time? Do you ever correct them or no?
I don't.
Well, Corey.
Corey's not. It's hard. It's hard to mess up Corey. I've gotten like Kobe a couple times.
Oh yeah.
But that's it. Yeah.
Some of our neighbors at my parents' house have been calling me Bree for the last 5 years, and it's too late now. Like,
there's no going back now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna correct them now. I am named Bree. So like, whenever I'm around them, that's just who I am. And if my parents say anything else, everybody will be confused.
You've inherited a nickname.
Yeah, I'll just be like, I guess I'm Bree now. I don't know. I've never considered. I don't know what to do about that.
Hi, Colby.
Colby, how's it going? What are the letters on that?
It says hype.
Oh, hype.
Every time I see it, it looks like what WTF to me.
Oh. It looks like, I don't know, in my weird brain, it looks like NYPD. But
Colby's calling the cops from a different state.
Calling the police. But yeah, that's just what the letters look like to me. Which I guess makes sense because hype is close.
Open up.
This is the police. This is the police.
Oh, I've been reading comics a lot more lately.
Oh, you finished One Piece, by the way.
I finished One Piece. I fit fully today. Today's been a weird day because it was like I finished One Piece entirely. Mm-hmm. Finished it. Mm-hmm. I'm starting a new sleeping schedule, so I just feel exhausted. I'm working out again.
Okay.
So I'm waking up at 4 a.m. to go to the gym again.
Oh, okay.
And then, so I feel like physically exhausted from that. I was running around my entire. I did read it. I finished it in its entirety. I was running around from like 9 o'clock till like 1 to 2-ish today, like nonstop. I still have so much prep to do for Secrets tomorrow. So I've got that nagging at the back of my mind, and I finished One Piece. So it's just this whole, like, this is an insane mindset I've been in all day. But I did, I caught up on all the manga chapters today.
Are you going to do, like, a celebration or something, or no?
No.
Oh.
I don't think so. There's truly nobody that cares except for, like, Logan and then 2 of my other friends.
What? That's like a momentous occasion. You have, like, achieved something that few mortals have achieved.
I've consumed so much One Piece. The funny thing is the one translation thing that's funny with the manga versus the anime. Mm. There's a character named Zoro.
Right.
But in the manga they call him Zolo because R and L are swappable in Japanese. And then they had I have friends that will reread it every other year or so. Hey, you know what? Good for them. Reading it much easier than watching it. It is. You can down a chapter in 5 minutes compared to the 25-minute episode you have to watch. Yeah. That is that same chapter. Yep. But there's also an event in One Piece called the Reverie. But in the manga, it was called the Levelly. So it's just like very weird little things that sound so different.
Yeah.
I said so far, so long. Goodbye. I get secondhand One Piece from them.
I said so for so long.
I said so for so long.
Yeah, I think he's saying that it was better to read than to watch. That it's easier to read than watch. Is that what you're saying, Logan? Or
I think so. Easier to read. Yeah. Okay. It was just. I put the emphasis on the wrong words.
Yeah. I was like, wait, I read that totally different than you did, and I think I'm right.
you nailed that one. But yeah, so it's much easier to read. You can read that. You could probably read it in like a month and a half or so if you just like buckle down to read it. But you also miss out on great animation. Yeah.
Well, honestly, like I'm kind of a lazy person, so it's kind of nice for it to be read to me in a movie style.
Yes.
So that's kind of nice.
It's the anime also does a lot of recently. Granted, it was not till episode 900 that they started doing this, but in like fight scenes they'll have impact frames that have a lot of like details within them. So it'd be like two characters who were friends 20 years ago. They're about to punch each other, and then as they punch, there's an impact frame of them about to high five each other, like when they were younger. And then it goes on, and they're only there for like a frame, like a single frame. Yeah. But they'll do like all those cool little details that the manga can't do.
Yeah. I do really like. So I'm just a big fan of visual medium, which is funny because I hardly ever watch it, but I really do love it, and especially animation. Yeah. It gets so much flack. My parents hate animated things.
My mom also does. Like she despises just cartoons in general.
She won't watch anything animated, no matter what.
Yep.
Like it doesn't matter if it were. I don't know, like, it doesn't matter what it was. Yeah. If it were a documentary on Zimbabwe or something, and it happened to be animated, she'd be like, no.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
My mom calls it lazy, and I'm like, it's harder to do.
It's way harder. They have to be way more thoughtful. And I mean, yeah, a lot of it is kid-based, but that doesn't mean all of it is kid-based.
Yeah.
And even the kid-based ones are normally pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
And you have so many less constraints than you do in real. Like, you can pick out all of the things that are wrong with a live-action something or other. Where in manga or in anything animated, you just are like, that makes sense.
Yeah, the cartoon logic is there.
Yeah, cartoon logic is absolutely there.
If it's a really good story, it doesn't matter if it's for adults or children, a la Gargoyles. Gargoyles is a great example, actually.
There's just so many. There's so many, like, really good ones, and you just can't get the same effect. When they try and do live actions out of animated things, I'm like, why though? A lot of the charm is because it's animated and it's not constrained by...
Yeah, all the Disney live action remakes, stinky doo-doo poo-poo. And then all the Netflix like anime live action adaptations have been bad. Yeah. This sounds like I'm biased, but it is, the One Piece live action one is actually pretty good. Yeah. But that's because the creator of One Piece was so heavily involved in it that he's like, I'm not approving anything. It's like nothing is happening unless I directly approve this. Right. So like they had to put in like 8 years of work to get that going. Right. You can do crazy stuff with animation. It looks cool instead of ridiculous. Yeah.
Well, it's like the more you fill out something, the more you can poke holes in it. It's like even the gaming industry, the more realistic they try and make people look, the worse they look. You're like, what is wrong with his eyeballs?
That game just came out, Expedition 33. I've been playing it a bit. I'm still like, I just finished the prologue, so I'm not far into it, but it is like, it's like one of the biggest games of the year so far. It was like the surprise kind of hit. And it's very fun, and the combat is cool, and it's super stylized, but they are all like super detailed, realistic humans that just look weird when they're like talking. Yeah. And my direct parallel is Persona 5, because Persona, they're both turn-based RPGs. Right. And they both have very, very similar mechanics in these turn-based RPGs, but it's like, I will take Persona 5 over this new game so far. Again, I'm 20-30 minutes in, so I'm not making a final judgment on this game. I'm saying it's bad by any means. But it's like, Persona 5, the style of it oozes the entire way through the game. Like, the entire, like, every detail of that game looks like it. Yeah. While in this game, in the Expedition game, it's like, there's a lot of style in the combat. Like, the UI design is incredible. But it's just like, anytime you're just walking around the world, it just looks like another guy. Like, it just looks like weird detailed humans that don't move correctly.
Yeah.
Also, Gustav looks like Robert Pattinson. Like, holy crap, exactly like that guy. And every time I see his face, that's all I see and laugh. He looks a lot like him, but he's also voiced by Charlie Cox, who's Daredevil. Like, so it's like, and this is like his first like video game role at all, and he's getting like crazy praise for how good he did it. He does do good.
It makes so much difference to have good voice actors too. Yeah, I love good voice actors. It makes such a difference.
That's kind of a lot of the fun with Marvel Rivals. Is like the voice acting for all the characters are so good, and they're just kind of funny to listen to.
Yeah, I don't know why they want it to be more realistic, because
Hi Nebula.
Hey Nebula, how's it going? I don't know why they want it to be more realistic. Because, like, the whole point is to be, like, fantasy. Like, I understand.
Graphics.
Like, maybe because they think it'll, like, it's more, you can, like, picture yourself more in that scenario of, like, fighting dragons and whatnot. Yeah. And I'm like, we've never had that issue. Nobody has ever played Dark Souls and be like, I just can't picture myself in this scene because this guy has not enough pixels. Like, it's not quite like me enough. Like, no, and it's fine.
This is what my dad will say. Like, he would watch me play, like, Minecraft, and he'd be like, why are you playing that? The graphics are bad. And I was like, the graphics don't matter.
The graphics don't matter. Minecraft is the perfect example of this. Because that was phenomenal, and the graphics were whatever it is, just because your mind can actually fill in a lot without you having it, like, spelled out, and the more it's spelled out, the more you can poke holes in it.
Graphics don't matter if the style is there. Like, if the style, it can mask over anything. Darkest Dungeon, not realistic, but I love the graphics. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, and like then you also get like cool cartoony, like there's a lot of cartoons that don't feel like, I don't know, what is it, like Breath of the Wild kind of stuff. That's just like lightly. It's not like, it's pretty cartoony. Yeah. But it doesn't feel that young. Like it's just like, it doesn't feel like a kid. It's not, I'm not playing Dora the Explorer or anything. Right. Like it doesn't feel like a super kiddie game. But it's also not super detailed. It's just like round and, you know,
cel-shaded and stuff like that,
It's not that complicated, but it's very enjoyable to look at. The music is phenomenal.
They released, I think Nintendo released a chart yesterday or 2 days ago that was just showing how big the games for the Nintendo Switch 2 are. Tears of the Kingdom is smaller than Breath of the Wild.
Oh, no.
It's like, I don't know how they did that, because there's a lot more in Tears of the Kingdom. The entire base game Breath of the Wild and some is there. Yeah. So I guess they figured out where to compress things.
Yeah, they probably had, because they did base it off of the world. So, like, maybe they could just, like, instead of having everything spelled out, they could actually edit it down into what they needed to be there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how games... It's just like that magic voodoo nonsense to me. Because then I see games like RuneScape. And they have so many tech issues with RuneScape because they build I guess this is what AJ used to say. They build all the code as they go. And so it's spaghetti code, I guess is what he said. And so they don't really know
what's in there, what's happening.
Connects. Yeah, they don't know how everything connects because it was all built like over time with no real structure.
That's funny.
And so now they're kind of stuck because that's just the way it is.
we talked about style and graphics and stuff. RuneScape is one of those games that it is like, I can't play this game because I just can't look at it. Like, it's like, I did not grow up with this. I don't have the nostalgia rose-colored glasses on. This is just like, oh boy, this is rough to look at. It hurts my eyes.
There's also like, but okay, so there's a lot of redeeming factors that can be in games. So like, I don't think in RuneScape it's the problem because the sound kind of sucks.
Yeah.
The visuals kind of suck. The color scheme kind of sucks. Mm-hmm. So like, there's just not a whole lot of like, there's not really many redeeming qualities about it.
Right.
And cartoons, I think there are definitely cartoons where I'm like, that is ugly as hell. So like, no.
Problem Solvers from Cartoon Network, that one season show that was ugly as sin.
Yeah. Well, and like, honestly, a lot of cartoons, and especially American cartoons, are very ugly.
Yeah, we're hit or miss with
pretty hit or miss.
A lot of ours.
But they lost a lot. I think recently they've lost a lot of personality.
Yeah.
Because now they've gone into like where they just have models instead of drawn out.
You're right.
So like they used to have like Atlantis and what is that? Like all this one, Aristocats and all that stuff. Yeah, where like it was very stylized in its own way. And now it's basically they all pull from the same database of like thing, and everything has the same kind of feel.
Well, even like just cartoon shows like Family Guy. Like if you look at season 3 of Family Guy compared to now, where they're just like they did hand draw some stuff, but then now everything is just like puppets that they can rearrange.
Yeah.
Hi Link, by the way. Thank you for my legal name.
We are going to, we're going to big celebration this week, is what I heard. So
apparently, I'm throwing a One Piece party.
Yes,
for myself to celebrate.
Completionist party. That's what we're talking about.
The thing, I didn't feel as complete with it just because the story's not finished. It's like still ongoing. So it's like
your goal. You hit your goal.
I hit the goal. I've hit the where now I don't have to worry about spoilers at all anymore.
Can you imagine having the same type of dedication to like working out or something? You would be literally like the world champion
at this point.
Yeah. Like the Disney CGI movies, all the girls have pretty much the exact same faces. Without the hair clothes, you'd never know who's. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Disney's lost a lot of its design. design stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They're in a slump. They're in a real bad slump right now.
They really are. Well, and it's weird because it doesn't feel like there's any there's no like passion in the Disney world. I don't feel like any of them are passion projects. I think that Encanto was someone's passion project. Yeah. But it's like it used to be like there was a lot of passion in each one. There was someone clearly loved it.
Right.
And now it's like, well, yeah, I mean, kind of. We'll just do it. And who's in charge of this? I don't know, but we'll just get it out. Will we ever see a certain Lalafell log into Final Fantasy 14 again? Probably not. Probably not.
I uninstalled Final Fantasy 14 forever ago. That's gone.
The thing is that it takes so much time.
Yeah.
I am like a very busy person. And I don't know how anybody has time for those games. Because once you start playing those games, the amount of other stuff... I don't know. I enjoy being very productive. This sounds weird.
That's fair.
But I really enjoy being very productive. And it eclipses so much other little stuff. It's not like it takes up so much time that it gets rid of my big stuff. But there's little stuff that ends up kind of slowly like getting pushed aside.
Right.
That ends up piling up, and at the end of the day, that I get a little bit overwhelmed by how much stuff I have to do.
Oh, it does kind of help. The game's free through Stormbound now. LOL.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
That doesn't really. It's just like Stormblood. It ends up being it's free to play through a certain extent.
Yeah.
That doesn't really help how much time it takes to play.
That adds more time to play it.
In fact, I play a lot of it. But I don't know. I talked about this with AJ quite a bit when they re-released WoW Classic.
Right.
Is that I really love video games, but I missed when massively the MMOs, when they were first kind of being explored. So I have like the OG exploration, loving the game. I play this because I play it. I have no idea what my class does. I'm gonna be a blunder around, and everybody's gonna hate me because I don't know my ticket or whatever it is.
Just see what's happening.
And it's super fun. And sometimes I run into things that I really shouldn't run into, and sometimes I get stuck on doing random things for no reason. And like I enjoy that stuff. And when I think back in the day when it was like. It was more of a we're just here to enjoy the moment thing. I think I would have enjoyed it much more because I'm not really a video gamer. And now I feel like I end up slowing everybody down when I play with other people, even if they're there, like to come play, like even if they want to come play with me and we're like just sitting there chatting and stuff. I don't normally hit the shift button to run or whatever. I'll actually just walk around, and people get so frustrated. They'll just like get on their little chocobo or something, and they'll run up, stand, wait for me to catch up, and then I'll be like, and they'll run up, stand, and then wait, and I'm like, we're not exploring together. You know everything about this. We're not finding cool new things.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I'll just go on these big adventures through like WoW and stuff, and I'd be like, look at this cool cave. There's nothing in it. Well, what do you think they had planned for this cave? Do you think this was like a boss? There's like literally nothing spawned into this. And people would be like, oh, but the question's over here. And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, but this is cool.
This is cool. So it's just, I don't know. I'm just at a different age of like video games. I'm just a wee baby over here.
I never got into MMOs. Like I missed that boat.
And I think I would love it. I think I would have loved it.
Yeah.
And because I do love the team aspect. I love being part of a crew. I love doing tedious nonsense to like be a part of the crew. I can go help people by going to fish.
Yeah.
And I had a great time playing WoW and going and fishing, and people would be like, dang, you got 3 stone skin eels? That's phenomenal, thank you. And I'd be like, I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning to do this.
You don't understand the grind.
Welcome to the dome. Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
The closest I've gotten to MMO, it's not even, I feel like it's not an MMO, but like it is Baldur's Gate 3, because it's like that was just me and then 3 of my friends, and we would just get in there and goof around and do exactly that. Of like we would just explore this place that we've all played like a good chunk through, but so many different things happen that we're like, this is a whole new experience every time we play it.
Right.
But it's like every multiplayer game I've only played competitive multiplayer games.
Right.
Like I like Call of Duties and Battlefields and Overwatch and stuff. Like I never just did like a group MMO. Like we're just all getting together and doing our own little things and then going to go fight a boss or something.
Yeah. Well, and very few things now are exciting and new in video games.
Right.
So like if you go and it doesn't matter what you do. If you go in and you're like, oh my god, there was like this cute chicken that walked by. They're like, oh, Max? Yeah, he walks by every 30 minutes. And I'm like, oh.
Cool.
Okay.
There goes my excitement and wonder.
I thought it was pretty cool. Like, it was just a chicken and I had a hat and it was kind of cute. And they're like, yeah, this is the mini version of it. And I have it as a pet. And then they'll just throw out the pet and I'm like, okay.
All right. Anyway.
Nice. Super. I mean, like, it's cool. Like, it's cool. But it also ended up being, like, I don't know. It sounds like I'm complaining. It was actually a great time, and I do think I just wish I had been. And AJ said the same thing. He was like, when they relaunched WoW Vanilla, he really thought there would be more of that. But people have just kind of forgotten how to do that. Yeah. Like, video games are no longer. It's like, I don't know. That's just not how people play video games anymore.
They're there to max it. Yeah, like what Link said. Yeah. Must be max your XP an hour. Yeah. Like, it is just like, it's a grind now. It's not a fun little adventure.
Well, and it's totally understandable. Even when I was playing with AJ, I would get frustrated with the same thing. But I can't really say that because I'm wandering around the inn that he's seen 375 times. Yeah. Probably more. And I'm like, wow, look at this staircase. Where does the staircase lead? And he's like, I don't know, there's probably someone up there. And I'm like, what do you guys think these guys? Do you think these guys are part of a quest? Or like, why are they in here? Why is there one small guy? And like, what is happening in here? This is so suspicious. And he just wasn't really interested. And I'm like, eh.
I didn't realize how many hours they had put, because I played WoW Classic with them for a little bit. There's AJ and like a crew. Right. And I played with them for a bit, and I would just be like, I would walk into some town and then go into like a building, and they'd be like, oh, where are you at? And I'd be like, I mean, it looks like a wooden building. There's a fireplace and an orc next to it. And they'd be like, oh, you're in this exact spot. Yes! And I was like, how the hell? I gave you. There was a point when near the end of when I stopped playing it, I would give the least descriptive details I possibly could. And that would stump them for a minute. And they go, no, he's definitely here, though. And they would find me immediately. And I was like, how? What the hell, dude?
Well, and I'd also get, and this is me just ranting at this point, because I actually really did enjoy it. This is giving off bad vibes. But like, one of the things that would really turn me away from continuing to explore is I'd be like, they're like, oh, where are you? What are you going to be doing? And I'm like, well, I don't know. I'm over here at this like tent over there. And they're like, oh yeah, you could do this, or you could do that. Or if you go up north, you could do this and this and this. And I'm like, well, we already know everything. Why am I going to do any of that? Like, I'm not going to do any of that because, like, I wanted to go do something new and exciting. Yeah. But
I would play those. I wouldn't tell anyone I would get on it. I would just play because then I could just be like, I'm just going to see what kind of happens.
Yeah, but I like sharing experiences with people. So, like, it's why I think I would like those kind of games more. Yeah. Because I like going out to dinner with people. I like going to movies with people. I like going to go do things with people so that I can share the experience with them. But if I go to a movie that someone's already watched, it just is a little less than going out.
You could play Elder Scrolls Online. That's an MMO that I don't think anybody plays. Mm-hmm. So that could be just a full new experience for you that way.
I did try. I think I did try that.
Oh, did you?
But it was with AJ and I didn't like it, so.
That's fair. I don't like Elder Scrolls. In the first Baldur's Gate, I found a rare glitch that trapped me in a jail cell on the original PlayStation. Because I was just exploring shit.
Yeah, like that stuff is so cool. I love that stuff. Yeah, WoW Classic is a solved game, so everyone more or less knows everything about it, and don't consider someone might be brand new. Yeah, basically. Yeah. I did actually really enjoy Final Fantasy XIV.
It's fun.
Except for that there was a lot less of my kind of exploring around. I feel like the zones were very, like, it wasn't just where you just, like, go wander off into a direction. Because a lot of times you had to stay in the zones that you're level. Like, there weren't really any option for that.
Yeah.
It would, like, you had to stay in your zones, or if you were in a zone that was lower than you were, it was a waste of your time. Like, it felt like a waste. I know exploring is exploring, but if you were in a zone above you, you'd just die. There was no option. You were gonna die.
One of the most fun parts of WoW is just walking into somewhere, getting one shot, and then being like, all right, I'm going to get through there somehow, but I'm going to figure this out.
I did really like that about WoW, is that, like, when I would go, I was a big fishing fan in WoW. I don't know why, it was my jam, it was so good. And I would go, I got my fishing up to, like, 300 immediately. But you have to go into, like, really sketchy zones to go do that stuff. And I would spend hours trying to find a fishing spot, and I would learn everybody's rotation to see when I had to move so that I could go fish in that spot. And so you could get around people to go do your fishing, but it was hard. It was great though. You could go wherever.
I think also part of it for me is I'm just so not social. Like, it's like when I play a game, I do just want to sit alone and just, like, not exist for a little while and play that. So when I have to talk to people, it kind of sucks me out of it a bit.
Yeah, I think it depends on. Okay, who was it? Look at it.
Yeah, there's a lot
okay, so there's a lot less of that in Final Fantasy. There is a lot less of it in Final Fantasy 14. It is proper etiquette. Everybody was very good about letting me watch the in-dungeon cutscenes. Yeah. They were very, very courteous about that, and nobody ruined it for me. Nobody rushed me through things, which was great. It just felt like there was less just random exploring you could do in Final Fantasy, which is kind of what I said. But, like, I did really like it, and I love the graphics of it. The graphics of it were beautiful, and I love the fantasy type of, like, the imagination of, like, what could be out there or what was out there was awesome.
Yeah.
I one of the things that really turned me off about Final Fantasy 14 is the fishing.
Fishing is key. It's a key element for you.
It's key. Because they have 3,731 types of bait. And the bait only works on certain types of fish. So you have to get all these baits, and you have to make sure it's a specific time. So basically, I'm sitting over here with an Excel spreadsheet of, like, 3 billion types of bait. It's a time of day. Like, I know it sounds like I'm like, I want a more in-depth fishing system. And then I'm like, but that's way too in-depth. It is way too in-depth, and you have to buy all of your baits. I'm sure you could go find them somewhere.
It's too much.
It's too much, and none of the fish matter.
Oh,
I really like it's terrible. So you were trying to level, and 0 of the fish mattered at all. It was all trash. So you'd, like, spend your time, trash. And they're like, oh yeah, maybe when you get up to high levels, it'll matter. And I'm like, will it though? I'm not convinced.
I'm doubtful.
I'm very doubtful about this. So, like, that was kind of annoying. It was fine. It was whatever. I do love exploring in games. There was so much fun stuff to find in Dragon Age Inquisition. Corpse with arrows in her stomach, and she's wearing chainmail bikini, massive brick of cheese with a knife you could use as a shield, fantasy Iron Man suit hanging out of a cave. Yeah, see, that's pretty cool.
That's silly.
What are you pressing X to doubt, by the way? First of all,
for the fishing, what we're talking about.
It's phenomenal.
No, fishing in Final Fantasy, that it matters. That's what. What it is.
That is.
Yes.
It was. I would.
Yes.
I really doubt. Exactly. Thank you. I'm glad you agree with me, because I'm like, I don't feel it. And then, like, AJ kept trying to keep me in the game, right? And he's like, no. Once you get up to level, these fish will matter. And I'm like, I just don't think so.
I just want them to matter now, though.
Yeah, well, and I also, like, I couldn't, with the pace people were going in the game, which is astronomically fast.
So fast.
I just wouldn't be able to keep up.
Yeah.
They were reintroducing all these games and all these levels and all this stuff, and he's like, yeah, we have 3 weeks to get 375 levels. And I'm like,
no.
What? You want me to get there? And then I was like, no way. It kind of matters to make food as a culinarian, but yeah, it doesn't. Yeah.
The one thing that it could apply to is just a kind of matters.
It
It's not
kinda
that
matters.
it does
And
matter.
I didn't even take the cooking thing, so like, it was fine. I could have found something else, but it's like the reason that I like fishing is because I can do it while I'm out exploring.
Yeah.
And I put a little fishing rod into every single pond I go by, and I'm like, what's going to come out of this one?
What little treat do I get?
Yes!
What scaly friend hides in here?
And then I'd get to a zone, and I wouldn't be paying attention and stuff, and I'd be like sneaking around, and I'd put the fishing line in and be like, you aren't qualified to fish here. This was in WoW. And I was like, I need to up my qualifying. Where's the qualification?
The pond rejected me.
It literally did. And I was like, that's so rude. And I'm like, I cannot let this stand. I must go back and train for this. And then there'd be like a training montage of like a week.
Of you in different ponds quietly fishing.
Where's ya? And then we played, and then I experienced the lovely time. I was living a dream world of fishing in not a PvP server. I don't know what they're called. The not ones.
Yeah.
Where you can't kill people. And then we went to go into a PvP server, and I'm like, I'm gonna be the fisherman here. And then I was like, doo-doo-doo, and someone came by, and they'd be like, ha! Bang! I'd die. And I'd be like, how dare you! I'm over here fishing! And they did not approve of me fishing there. And I'd like sneak back, and then they were waiting for me. And they were like, this girl does not give up. And I'd be a tourist. I was a cow person. And I'd like walk down, and I'd like sneak around to try and get it so they couldn't see me, and they would immediately see me. I don't know. They had a tracking sense or something.
I'm kin with Nebula here. I exclusively play games without co-op. I like to explore and level grind. My favorite game of all time is Breath of the Wild. I mean, Persona, I guess, but Breath of the Wild.
Too. My favorite game I think of all time is Breath of the Wild.
It is just like that is the game that I put 500 hours in, and after I beat the game like almost 100%, and I didn't get the core seeds because that's too much. But I did everything else. And I still put in like an extra 100 hours just because I like walking around the world so much.
I love that game. Breath of the Wild was such a good game.
It's so good. Yeah.
So well. So like that, absolutely. But even that, I was playing with AJ on the couch. So like he would normally, I mean it's AJ, provide very colorful commentary to what I was doing at all times.
He did that professionally for many years.
And it was very funny. And we would be, there was like a lot of times where we were just like, what the heck is happening around here?
Mods ban Link. How dare he have that name and say that?
yeah, what the heck? Well, maybe because he's a fan of the other ones, and I hear he's very different than the others.
They are very, very different from the other ones, but that's what makes them good. Because at that point, the Zelda formula had gotten like pretty stale. Like I think the last good one that was like the standard Zelda formula was the 3DS, the painting one. I forget the name off the top of my head. That was like the last really, really good one. The rest of them were just like. You knew exactly what you're getting every time. So the Breath of the Wild comes out, and it's like, here's a whole beautiful open world. That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't think they were trying to make it too similar. Like, they were trying to do very similar characters, obviously, but I think they were trying to branch out a lot, just to get a different thing, and I think they did a good job of it.
Play a lot of JRPGs or school side scroll / RPGs. I also play a lot of those, to be frank.
School side scroll, what is that?
I don't fully know what school side scroll means. It could be
old school side?
Could be old school side scroll. Could be visual novels if you're talking about school RPGs. It could be a few things here. But like Persona 5 is probably my favorite game. It is like that, and Breath of the Wild probably my favorite games.
You know what I would love to play, and I think we should totally play it sometime, is like high drama, like trash. What are they like? What are they? Dating simulator.
Yeah,
like
the visual novel dating ones.
Anime dating simulator. I think we should totally. I've never played one of those. I've only even heard about these through mangas. that are talking about them through mangas. That's the only reason I know anything about them, and I think they sound so entertaining.
We can do that for sure. It is so... I do not know if we could play them on Twitch, because it'll be like you're having a conversation, and then like the anime fox girl you're talking to will fall, and then she'll be on the ground like spread eagle. And it's like, whoa!
We gotta do it!
And they'll do,
I would absolutely do that. That sounds so fun.
It's so like, oh my god, no! Danganronpa does that. We can play Danganronpa, probably be fine, but Danganronpa 2 specifically has a scene where they just fall to the ground. A girl falls to the ground and you just get a panty shot. And it's like, dude, chill out for a minute.
I watched this one show. It's funny because it's weird because my brother sent it to me. But he was like, okay, so I'm not a drinker, I don't drink. But he was like, pretend, like, take a shot every time you see something like way overly sexualized.
That's too much.
Way overly. And I was like, let's go. Hit me, let's go. And I watched that and I was dying. It was every scene so unnecessarily. Like, it was phenomenal. I've never been so amused in my whole life. It was best.
I do play a lot of visual novels or magical girl JRPGs. I didn't know they had magical girl JRPGs, but that makes sense.
We should actually, I would totally play this. Honestly. I need to branch out in my video game because I've only ever played very few. And normally they're AJ approved, which is a very small list.
He has a very specific taste in video games.
Very specific taste. Okay, let's see here. I didn't play the newest Zelda, mostly because the art style is mad to me. What is that called? What is
This Tears of the Kingdom.
What?
Mods kill Link 1429.
Isn't it the same as
It's
Breath
the same
of the Wild?
exact. It's the same.
Yeah, I thought it was the same game. Like the OG Mario games or Mega Man. Oh, okay. Link, the only one I've ever played is the gold cartridge Nintendo Zelda that came with the massive folded map. I don't know.
That was the NES one. I had
the other one on Switch. What's the name?
The other one on Switch. What are you talking? Oh, the Zelda one where you play as Zelda, or like the remake of Link's Awakening where they're like little chibi toys.
Probably the chibi toys.
Yeah. Both of those games have the same art style.
Oh yeah. The newest Zelda is really a lot of fun. Well, I don't know. I saw the one Zelda where AJ was killing like 1 billion people at one time.
Oh, that's the Hyrule Warriors games. Those
suck. That's so weird.
Those are
I watched a little bit and I was like, what the heck is happening?
They're not Zelda games. Echoes of Wisdom is that's the only one where you play as Zelda herself. You were going through and you're saving
Zelda's
Link.
the woman, I forgot.
Yes. Yep.
I forget that all the time.
It's okay. That's the whole bit. I had a hell of a time with Slay the Spire. Holy moly, absolutely love that game. That is a game that Sully's been trying to get me to play that for a while now.
Yeah, I did actually see AJ played quite a bit of this, I think. And it looked fun.
It's very, very different.
It was like a big departure from what they.
I really liked the art style. I think I say this as Zelda being like my childhood video game franchise and one of my favorites as well. Is that formula of Zelda games got really, really stale. So I'm just so stoked to see them do so many different things. Let me see with Mario. Like the Mario on the Wii got stale when it was just like the new Super Mario Bros. Style. And now they're doing Mario Wonder and they're doing all these new 3D Mario games. It's good that they're changing and it's very fun. Anyone play Cult of the Lamb? Not yet. That's a game that I someday will play. Have you seen Cult of the Lamb? It is like Animal Crossing kind of style, but you're like a little sheep leading a satanic cult of like little woodland animals.
I did believe that too. That one looked pretty fun. One of my favorite artists did the art for that game. I have it on D-Play.
D-Played a little bit. I don't know. I have it and played a little bit.
Oh, and played a little bit. I've streamed a bit, but never played.
They just added co-op mode, so Sully and I are always looking for co-op games. Yeah. So, oh my god, hang on, because a great game right now. We're playing.
Whoa, things have happened over here.
I just remember it's a game called Blueprints. Yeah. I've talked about it. I know Colby's heard us talk about it. But it is probably one of the best puzzle games I've played. Like it is like up there with like Oberdin and Myst of levels of like incredible game. You play as a boy whose great uncle died and you inherit his house and he says, there's 45 rooms in this house. You have to find the 46th one, and if you do, you inherit my entire estate. And he goes, you can't sleep in the house, and once you get tired, you have to leave. So you have you only have 40 steps each day to get to that last room.
Okay.
And what you do is you walk in. It's a 9x5 grid, and you walk up to a door. And once you do, you get offered 3 different rooms. You have to choose which room you want.
Okay.
So you're building your way to that 45th room.
Gotcha.
But there are is it like blueprints? It is like it is the second one you said, Jade. It is blueprints, like the royalty, but it's a pun off of blueprints because you're building the entire time. It's on Game Pass. If you have Game Pass, it's super great. But it is like every time Sully and I think we figure out how this game works, it adds like 6 different puzzles to it, and then
cool.
it is like it just keeps evolving on itself in such a great way.
That's awesome.
I don't want to go into too many details because it's like the more you go in blind, the better. But it truly is like Return of the Obra Dinn, Papers, Please, like level of indie puzzle game.
Gotcha. The We Were Here franchise is a really amazing puzzle games.
I just remembered I have the mouse and keyboard here, so I can Google things as well. I can't see it yet, but I will do that in a second. We Were Here. I've never seen this game before in my life. Oh, I've seen this one. There's one where it's people on a mountain. I recognize that one.
I have a cozy game called like Witch's Apothecary, where you befriend animals, make potions, farm ingredients, and help random town people. That sounds just like Stardew Valley.
Yes.
I don't know. My references to things, I know so few games that if it's totally wrong, then it's fine because I really don't know things. So sorry if it's wrong, then feel free to tell me because I don't know.
I recognize this. I think Sully's looked at this game before. I'm not the biggest cozy game guy. I just like playing weird little games. What's a cozy game? Stardew Valley, Animal Crossing, like games that you can kind of like. They have like a soft kind of feel, and you can just kind of relax and play a game too.
I got annoyed with Stardew Valley because you know what I want to do is go on adventures, and every time they'd be like, "Oh, you forgot. Do you have to go sleep?" Or "Oh, whoops, you got to do this," and I'm like, "I just want to go adventure. I need 1 day," and it takes me half the day to get there, and then they're like, "Yeah, you got to go do all this stuff and then get sleep or whatever you had to do," but it was always time constraint. Too much. And I'm like, guys, come on, what is with this time constraint thing?
I play Stardew every now and then just when I want to have a game I can kind of turn my brain off to and listen to a podcast and play. That's whenever I play it.
Yeah.
Is there a must-play video game you've never played, like how The Godfather is a must-see movie? A must-play video game I've never played. Great question.
That you've never played? I mean, how would you know?
I mean, it's just like one of those cultural games that you just haven't played yet.
I don't know. I don't know enough about games to be like that.
I'm gonna Google the words "must play games," and then must play games of all time. Here we go. This is Metacritic best games of all time. Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. I've played that.
Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto 4.
I do really... Okay, so there is one thing I would really love to do. Is to get a crew and go play Grand Theft Auto. Because I missed that entirely. Look, guys, I was working. And
she was doing things, as we talked about.
Yeah, I was doing a lot of stuff. I didn't play any of video games ever until I was like 22. And that's conveniently when I started dating AJ. And so I was like, gosh, this is so cool. I love video games. And one of them that I've always wanted to play is Grand Theft Auto. Because I am secretly a villain. And I want to be a villain. I want to go out and do, because in real life, I follow all of the rules. I've never gotten a speeding ticket. I don't drink. I've never gotten in a car crash. Like, I don't do it. Like, I am such a rule follower all the time. So when I, like, go in fantasy... Yeah, when I go into a fantasy world and I go play Grand Theft Auto, I'm gonna, like, jaywalk and stuff. And it's gonna be crazy. And I'm just gonna be like, did you guys see that?
And I didn't even use my turn signal.
I know! That's exactly it. And then I'm going to be like, I'm going to go drive a semi-truck around town. Oh. And that's like the exciting stuff that I want to go do.
I played GTA 5 a bit, but I didn't click with it. But I think if we did get a group of people together just to goof around in there, then I would have more fun with it.
I would love doing that.
If we just go around committing crimes constantly, then yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. I didn't know there was more to that than the game because that's all I've ever seen. I personally never played a Grand Theft Auto game. It just never really appealed to me. Well, that's because you're probably not secretly a villain.
Too busy on Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, that's probably it. Have you ever played
Recited or Race?
An item shop's tale. You go exploring adventure quests and sell items and build your own store. I feel like I've seen that. We all know this, Link. We know you.
You have two defining features here. One of them is Final Fantasy 14, and the other is your cat George.
Yeah, like we know this stuff.
This looks very. I've looked up the game Nebula side of that. We all know how to pronounce.
Yes.
It looks very
wrecked, baby.
Harvest Moon. Complimentary is when I say that. Very like early aughts anime style.
Yeah, I know you're also in the Monster Hunter now.
I have 3 defining features.
Yeah. I actually loved Monster Hunter.
I got the newest one and it's fun.
I just need a controller. First of all, I need a controller.
Yeah, it's a controller game.
Yeah, because I tried to play. I do have it on my computer, and I tried to play it with mouse and keyboard, and it was very hard, and I couldn't figure out how to do anything. So really, not a thing. Not a real thing.
I'm looking through this list of like best games of all time, and it's like I have played most of these, but also some of them are just like Mario Galaxy 1, Mario Galaxy 2, GTA 5, GTA 4, GTA 3, Halo.
There's like Halo. There's like NFL games.
Yeah. And not, like any of the, I haven't played Uncharted 2 if you want to count that, but I don't think that's like in the grand scheme of greatest video games. Tekken's fun. I like Tekken. I've played Tekken.
I've never played it, but I've heard it's a thing.
It's silly.
There's Elden Ring, Elder Scrolls.
I didn't play Elden Ring yet. There's one. I think that counts as one.
Metal Gear Solid.
I've played every Metal Gear Solid. I've not played
Portal. Ooh, I love
Portal 1, I think, is the perfect game.
It's so good.
It's so short. It does exactly what it needs to do, and it's like there are actual puzzles in there.
It's so fun, and it's got such good theming, and it's beautiful to look at because it's so simple.
Yeah.
And they do such a good job. It doesn't.
The music
break all
is
the
so
time.
good.
And I mean, the characters are phenomenal. For being like no characters in it, the characters are so good.
They're so good. The Last of Us, I've played that. Like it's just sequels and stuff. I'm trying Ocarina of Time, if like we had to define like Zelda games, right? Like Ocarina of Time and Breath of the Wild are like the 2 Zelda games, right? Like so it's like any other ones, while they are great games, I'm not counting them in like the Godfather territory.
Yeah. Any first-person style game that's been popular, I haven't played. I don't play those, but I will watch someone else play them. I only just in the past few months got to experience Portal 1 and 2. Oh my god, they're so good.
Portal 2 is probably like Portal 2 and Breath of the Wild are the games that I would like if I could erase them from my memory and go back and play them for the first time. I would do that. Portal 2 I was obsessed with when that game came out.
So good. They're such good games. I love those. Absolutely would recommend.
I listen to the Portal soundtrack pretty often. Like when I'm writing for secrets and stuff, especially when I'm in the sci-fi sections of it, not the Wild West ones. Then I put on the Portal. Portal music.
I mean, I love the games because I'm just a wee baby and I have no muscle memory for video games. So I love games like Breath of the Wild and Portal where you really don't need that many buttons.
Yeah.
They only have a couple of buttons on them, and that's not the point of the game, is how fast you can press your buttons.
Portal especially. It has like 4 buttons you
there's like 4 buttons and it's great. Halo Reach is my memory delete so I can play for the first time. Yeah. Then Red Dead 2. I would bet Halo Reach is for a lot of people because that created such an impact on everyone ever.
Red Dead 2 specifically for the story. I think I've said it before. That's why I stopped playing GTA 5 is I don't like the way that Rockstar games feel.
Yeah.
They always prioritize finishing an animation before they prioritize your button input.
Right.
And like Monster Hunter does that too, but that adds to the challenge of the game.
Right.
I don't like the way that those feel.
Right.
But Red Dead 2's story is like the best story in a video game I've seen. Like it is like that is like way up there, like for plot.
Do you know what's really sad though is how, and I think we've said this before, but is how there is such good content in the gaming industry, and that they really just don't do it justice in like bringing series to life. because they have such good stories. So like a really good example of this is I never played Halo, but I loved the setting. I watched a lot of the Rooster Teeth Red vs. Blue because it was hilarious and I loved it. And because I didn't play video games at the time, I thought it was super cool. And the Halo series that came out, I was so excited for that. There's so many series that I mean, the atmosphere of it and the general
the energy,
setting,
the vibes.
The setting is so cool. You're watching like these like superhero type characters that are just men in suits, and like it's a great setting and it could be so cool, and they just don't do it justice. And I'm like, there's so many of them that they've messed up that it's unbelievable that they can just keep doing that.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
Jaded Tempest out here manipulating her family to do whatever they can by saying, would you kindly to them?
Because of Bioshock, every time I ask my husband or daughter to do something, I specifically say, would you kindly? I hope one day she plays the game and the little light bulb comes on. Oh, that would be phenomenal. Oh my gosh.
All right, I found a game on here finally. 112. I found it. Okami. Okami, I think, is one of those like pinnacle games that I started but did not finish. That's the closest I've gotten. I didn't finish Fallout 3 either, but I just didn't like it. So there's a difference in those, you know.
If I was to play Rockstar, the Red Dead games, Rockstar games. I don't know. There's a lot of cool games. There's some games that are like so visually stunning. I kind of wish that I don't know. Like some of the like sometimes they come out with these like really visually stunning ones and they just don't have any context. I like wish they just like all got together. Be like, can you all work out your differences and just make something that's all of them at one time?
Just make it visually good and fun.
I just don't understand how they don't see the real net worth in making. This is me going back to my previous rant.
Fine.
I just don't see how they don't see the value in making an actual, like, a series that's dedicated to a game system. It's like the same thing as The Witcher.
Yeah.
Where, like, even then, they tried really hard in the first one and then just went ham off in some random direction. Like, why?
Wait, so you don't like Witcher 2 or 3?
Well, even Henry Cavill gave up on it.
Oh, for the show, you mean? I thought you meant for the games.
No, for the show.
The show, absolutely.
They really could have just kept on. Like, it's got great content. It's got such a good base to draw off of. Like, all the stuff, the characters were phenomenal. And then they're like, no, instead of that, we're just going to do something else. And I'm like, why?
It's stinky.
Why? Like, I don't get what the whole appeal is to, because they do it over and over and over and over. How many times does this happen in our lifetime? It's so gotta be like 50 times. We've got Aragon. We have this is based off of a book. But like we've got Aragon, we've got Witcher, we've got like all these games where you're just like Halo. Everybody's so disappointed.
With the Halo show?
With the Halo show. And I'm like, why? It's such good content. Just go with it, man. Hey, you're fine.
Yeah, I remember like episode 1. Master Chief takes his helmet off.
Yeah, I know.
It's like,
and I'm like,
what are you doing?
Point. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, it is, and I get that it can be a challenge to have an actor that people can be compassionate with without ever seeing their face. And I'm like, but they have characters in movies that are just robots.
Yeah. And
they can you still sympathize with them, and you still can root for all that stuff. It's okay.
I mean,
like,
even The Mandalorian season 1, he took his mask off the helmet off at the end, but it was like he had that helmet on the entire time. It was still great because they refused to hire people who actually love the games to work on the projects. Yeah, it's just money.
Yeah, but you'd think in the end of the day that the end goal is to make money. So if you were going to just make a series that followed exactly how the game already went, and you were just to be like, oh, okay, sweet. You know what's easier than creating your own story and own characters and all this stuff? Literally just follow the story that's already there. But I think it must be like a slight to the pride of the producer.
Well, I think it's like, I think there's like 100 things in there. Because it's like a producer could have a buddy that wants to be in it, that he promised to be in his next movie. It can be just the studio doesn't want to pay the money for the person that does know all the stuff and can make it well. The studio has made deals and promises for other stuff, or they did start working on it. They found a guy who can do it perfectly, and then it just falls through for one reason or another. It's always like, that's how you get that one guy that makes all the horrible video game movies, like the Monster Hunter movie. or like Alone in the Dark, like that. Like you get that guy who's just there because he's friends with all the producers at these studios, and he can get the money to do it.
Well, and but that won't appeal to the general masses. Well, what's funny is gamers are the general masses.
Yeah.
So like how many people are concurrently playing Final Fantasy 14 right now?
Yeah.
It's a giant number of people.
The Minecraft movie could have been good. That's the general masses. It's the biggest game in the world.
Really? Like, it could have been, like, everybody has played at least some form of Mario Kart or anything. So, like, at least they know the brand. So if they're looking to, like, it isn't the boomers now. The general masses is not the boomers. It's people who have played video games ever.
The Sonic movies got there. It took them a bit of time. With Sonic 3, they figured out how to properly do it so that the fans will like it as more. Yeah. And they nailed it on that one.
Yeah. Remember, movies have to appeal to as wide as audience as possible, which is funny because they make romance movies to be romances.
Yeah.
To appeal to people who want a romance movie, and they make action movies to appeal to people who want to go to an action movie. So, like, really, you can say the same thing about any genre of movie.
Yep.
Or, like, I don't know, they're not going to make, you know, a kid's movie. They don't want to appeal that. They don't like, I don't know. It's just so annoying. It's just such a waste. It's just such a waste. And they've done it a billion times, and I'm like, when will you learn?
Why can't we just have good things?
Why can't we have good things? Especially over the things that and it's just, like, so frustrating for things that we have made a staple of our...
Yeah.
I don't know, like, Mario is such a big part of everybody, and then it's like, wow, that's terrible. Or the Minecraft, you're like,
yeah,
gosh, that's awful.
You know what's funny is, like, anime has kind of figured it out a bit, because there's a lot of anime that are based off of games, and they've just adapted them really well. The Danganronpa anime is just a pretty good retelling of the entire first game.
Right.
It works. They've kind of cracked the code a little bit over there by doing exactly what you're saying of just following it
just
exactly.
Follow the thing.
It's
like,
easy.
it's totally okay to do that. Arcane Season 1, take a mid-video game and turn it into a great show.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, kind of.
With Arcane, I think the other way to make a good video game adaptation. Last of Us figured it out too. The Last of Us show was good.
Yeah.
But like the other way to do it is just to tell a different story. That's not the main game.
Yeah. That they were like, okay, instead of doing it partially and offending everybody, what we're actually going to do is take inspiration. Basically, they just took inspiration, and then whoever was in it made their own passion project.
Right.
So, like, it was very only technically tied in. I mean, obviously, the story does have a lot of tie-ins, but someone was allowed to just go ham with that. They did not have to follow anything.
Last of Us might be the most successful video game inspired media.
Yeah.
I haven't watched season 2 of Last of Us, and that's partially because I did not like Last of Us Part 2 for not sexist reasons. It was not. It's not because there were women in it.
Yeah.
I thought the game was a downer. It kind of didn't. It was unnecessarily bummer, and I didn't like it.
Yeah.
So, and I hated Ellie the entire time. Her character became insufferable to me. But I haven't watched season 2 of Last of Us at all.
Yeah. Yeah, what's interesting is that I know, so like for the Halo show, I didn't actually know much of anything about Halo. So I didn't know it was like a big taboo for him to take off his helmet.
It's the biggest taboo.
Yeah,
and
apparently.
They just ripped that Band-Aid.
Which I talked to Dirk about it, and he was like, outrageous! And he was like morally offended that he took off the helmet. But I didn't know that at the time. I was just really annoyed that it wasn't about the Halo guy, and a lot of it was about this girl that just happened to get in his way all the time.
Yeah.
And it didn't make her, like, it just ended up, the shift, I was ready to go watch, like, badass guys walk around in spacesuits all the time.
Super cool.
And I was like, what is happening here? What?
I mean, him taking off his helmet is the equivalent of, like, a Mario movie just shaving off his mustache.
Yeah.
Minute 1. Like, it is crazy.
It does make sense. It makes a lot of sense. It makes sense. Halo guy, yes. His name is John Halo.
More like, hell no, am I right? Nice, dude. Hell yeah.
But I don't know. I do wish they did do more credit to them, because a lot of them have, like, I don't know, such big fan bases. You'd think it'd be easier, but I guess not. They don't want to be constrained in the...
The Castlevania anime I liked a lot. I know AJ liked season 1.
I liked season 1 a lot. I didn't like the second season as much.
I thought that same as John Wick. I thought they got better as they went on, but I thought in season 2, spoilers for this 10-year-old show. In season 2, it is at the end when they're attacking Dracula's castle, and Dracula they end up in Alucard's bedroom, and he gives this whole speech of I'm killing my boy, my last thing that connects me to you, my love. I'm killing it. Right. I thought that was beautiful. I thought that was a great scene, and I was like, it's so good. Yeah. And then all of season 4 I loved a lot with death and everything. I love Castlevania show. I love that show a lot.
I might try it again. I don't know. There were a lot of parts that I liked on it. There were just a lot of parts I didn't like as well. I don't know. It
I forgot because they made a sequel, Castlevania Nocturne. Season 1 of that was good. I forgot season 2 came out, because when season 2 came out is around the time I started really kicking it up with One Piece. So I was like, I can't stop now. I have to keep moving. Yeah. Castlevania was I love that show a lot. Yeah. Then on the other side of that coin is the Devil May Cry show, which is really bad. Which is sad.
That is kind of sad. I don't know, it's just disappointing. I'm I don't know. A lot of the content that's based off of is so good. Yeah. I'm come on, guys. What the heck? And just do any of that. The amount of production and stuff that goes into, Avatar. Just, shove a little bit in. Just shove a little bit. It's kind of a similar level of fantasy, but you already have a story there. So, I don't know. Just do one of that. You don't have to do the same story over and over again. Just have cool blue people. You can do it with a lot of these fantasy things because they're actually very cool looking.
We just need a Tetris movie starring Jack Pratt, son of Jack Black and Chris Pratt. Do you remember this? I feel like this just came out. It was so forgotten, and I understand why. But do you remember that last year we had a Garfield movie starring Chris Pratt?
No.
That came out last year. There was an animated Garfield movie with Chris Pratt as Garfield. It was so that movie came and went, and I heard nothing of no memes about it or anything. It was just gone.
There's so many that I feel are the same movie. Yeah. There could be identical movies. What it did come out for 4 days ago was The Accountant 2.
Yes.
So I'm gonna go see.
I forgot about that.
All about it.
Sinners is out right now, and I really want to see that because I've heard it's great. It is by Ryan Coogler, the guy who did the Black Panther movies.
Oh, nice! I love those.
It is Michael B. Jordan. He plays twins, and it is I think it's the 1920s era, 1920s, 1930s, where it is a black community is being hunted by vampires. And I've heard it's just incredible.
I don't think I've seen anything about it. I'll go see that.
It has I think it's the highest rated movie of the year so far, and it's projected to make quadruple its money back that it spent for the budget. And it does a lot of cool technical stuff with camera. There's a scene where it's him. He plays twins, so he's playing against himself. He hands himself a cigarette, and which sounds like nothing, but it is the fact that they shot it so well and they did it so correctly. Yeah. That it's a technical marvel. Yeah. That even Ryan Coogler was this was the hardest shot to get in the entire movie.
I love that, Jade Tempest. That makes me so happy that we have a new generation of people who are also disappointed with crappy remakes. My daughter was obsessed with Garfield. She hugged me when that movie came out and told me she now understood how I felt about crappy remakes. That makes me feel so good. Honestly, it's so validating. I'm yep. I feel that. I'm glad that someone else understands the pain. You thought we were just saying that? No, now you know. Now you know. You have the pain of the Garfield.
Oh, Jade Tempest also said, obsessed with comics in late 80s, early 90s cartoons. I was going to say this and we talked about One Piece. But it was, I've been reading comics, just comics in general more. And because that Daredevil show came out, I wanted to read some Daredevil comics. And it was the 2019 Daredevil run that I just finished. That was so good. It was because, do you know much about Daredevil? Did you watch the shows at all?
No, I didn't watch any TV growing up.
Okay. Well, it came out 10 years ago. It's okay. Yeah, I know. It's just he's a superhero that as a kid he got blinded by radioactive goo. Okay. But now all of his other senses are crazy heightened. Okay. But a core part of his character that I think is really fun and interesting is he's a devout Catholic. So he dresses as the Daredevil, so he's doing the devil's work for God. Okay, but he also a lot of that 2019 run was about like the guilt he has for doing it, and he's like, am I doing this because it is what God has wanted me to do, or is this because I'm trying to fuel my own desire for violence? And it deals with like a lot of really, really, really great stuff in there.
That's awesome.
It's so good. It has like a counter. It has like another protagonist for a while where he's a cop that's dedicated to hunting Daredevil, and then it becomes like he's like hunting dirty cops and stuff like that. It's so good. I also love Jessica Jones. I haven't read much of Jessica Jones. I watched the first season of the show and I thought it was good when that came out. And then I have not watched the newest Daredevil season. It was Netflix had like their own Marvel shows for a while, so that's what the part it was. And they had 4 of them, and then they made a show called The Defenders, which was like the street level Avengers with those 4 characters.
Gotcha.
That show was dog shit. That show was so bad that I didn't want to watch any more Daredevil. I was like fully like, I don't want it anymore. So
it spooked me. I'm honestly I've been burned so many times, and I think, I'm not sure why, but I feel the disappointment so thoroughly when something like that comes out, where I'm just like, it's so disappointing. I'm so emotionally invested to this nonsense that I have stopped watching, like, just off of risk assessment.
It could get bad.
Yeah, I've stopped watching a ton of things that are either based off of something else or sequels, because it's just so high risk nowadays.
Yeah.
Like, because you could go, there's not like a small range of like, it could suck. No, it is like, you can walk out to the worst movie you've ever seen.
Yep.
Like, unbelievably bad. Like, you don't know how it even got past screen testing.
Yeah.
It's so common.
That's how I felt with Thor: Love and Thunder, because I loved Thor Ragnarok, because I love Taika Waititi was one of my favorite directors.
Right.
And that movie was hilarious. And then Sully and I went and saw Thor, Love and Thunder, and we both were like, it sucked. It sucked so bad.
And it's so
it was
disappointing.
devastating.
It's like, it's really devastating, and I'm like, I just can't take that kind of disappointment, guys. I come here, and I have a problem with movies and TV shows in general, is that, again, I am a very busy person. So investing 2 or 3 hours into one thing is a lot of time.
Yeah.
It's a lot of time. And if it's that big of a waste, I feel like guilt. I've wasted my life watching this terrible. Like, it's just, oh gosh, it's terrible.
They went way too far with the zaniness. There are characters you can do really zany with. Thor's not one of them. Yeah, I blocked a lot of that movie out of my head because I did not like it so much.
Nice.
But it was like, it didn't feel finished. It felt rushed at parts. The characters didn't feel fully developed. And maybe that's an insane take. I'm going to circle back to that in a second. But like, I loved Thor Ragnarok, because it felt like such a breath of fresh air. Fresh breath of air, whatever.
Breath of fresh air.
In the MCU, because at that point it was just very repetitive,
right,
like it is now. And so I was stoked when Love and Thunder came out, but then Love and Thunder just was like a very bad romance movie in there. It had very bad comedy. A lot of the effects were just straight up not finished. Like it was just brutal. It was not nowhere near as funny. It was bad.
Yeah.
Nebula's insane take. Hot take: I enjoyed Suicide Squad movie 2016, but hate the Suicide Squad movie.
Okay, wait,
Buck
which
wild.
one's which? Which one's which? Which one's which?
Suicide Squad 2016 is the one that had Will Smith, and he was like, what are we, some kind of Suicide Squad? It had the Joker that had all the tattoos and stuff on him that looked bad, Jared Leto Joker. Suicide Squad is the one that James Gunn did after Marvel fired him for his tweets he said like 15 years ago he was actively trying to delete. So like, Marvel...
What is it? Which one is it?
Which one's the Suicide Squad?
The Suicide Squad, yeah.
The Suicide Squad is the one with Idris Elba is in it, and John Cena as Peacemaker, and it's like they're like the new Suicide Squad that goes in to do a job. Way better movie. Insane that you think that you enjoyed 2016.
Yeah, so I
That's exactly what it is. What are we, some guy Suicide Squad? It's like he does not care when he says those words.
So I actually I didn't actually watch the more recent Suicide Squad because I was kind of disappointed with the first one. I loved the idea of the first one, and I think it could have been so cool. Like, I thought it had so much potential. And I thought I actually didn't mind Will Smith in it. I actually didn't mind a lot of the characters in it, except for the villain, which I hated.
It just became big energy at the end. And
God, it was horrible. I just hated the villain.
I didn't like any of the characters though, because none of them felt like characters. It just felt like they were there to say some lines, and then they hard cut to the next scene.
That did feel like that quite a bit. So I didn't watch the more recent one because I was like,
the more recent one is by James Gunn, who did the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. So it's it is like an actual squad that you feel, and they all have really great characters. And John Cena, that was the movie that made me realize John Cena's a good actor. Yeah. He's like actually trying when he's in there. And then they did the Peacemaker show, and that was actually a very, very good show. Like, I was surprised with how emotional it was.
Have you ever seen in Guardians of the Galaxy, the guy that's like really giant and bald?
Drax. John Bautista.
Have you ever seen him as a person?
Yeah.
So I saw an interview with him a while back, and he's like, he really takes himself very seriously as an actor.
Yeah.
He's
like, I'm here to try. He's like,
he tries so hard, and he takes roles, and he tries to put as much character into every single one of them. And I've never considered, because he was a wrestler or something?
Yeah, he was a wrestler.
Yeah, and he's like, I did not want to fall into that. I wanted to, be an actor. And he means, really be one. And I'm like, that's so crazy to have, especially, and this is, I don't know if this sounds sexist, but, especially a strong man be like, I want to, first of all, try hard at anything.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to admit they want it, that they're trying at anything, because that sounds lame. Nobody tries. I'm too cool to try. But he also wants to try so hard to be an actor. Yeah. Which is, first of all, it's based off of other people's opinions, whether or not it was a good or bad, act or something or whatever. So that's such a brave is, I don't know if the right word, but it's so cool to me that he goes into it with this mentality of I'm going to be good. Yeah. I want to be good.
He's genuinely trying. He's not there for a check.
I love that. It's so cool. So I had so much, obviously I loved him as Drax. Yeah. He was phenomenal. And I've seen him as a couple different characters and I've loved him all the time. But I love that it makes it so much better how hard he tries to do it, because people definitely don't admit that they try.
Yeah. When I realized he was a great actor is in Blade Runner 2049. He's in it for 10 minutes in the beginning, then he's not in the rest, but he's giving a very subtle performance. And first of all, also he does the trope I love of really big guy, very tiny glasses. Yeah, he's got very, very, very tiny glasses. Love that trope.
Love it. I love it.
It is he does an actual very deep performance in the few minutes he's in there, and I was like, damn, Batista, all right. Yeah. Batista is what The Rock should have been. On that, yes, The Rock so far he's been The Rock in every single movie he's in. But today they released A24 released a trailer for the killing machine, the punching machine, the beating machine, something like that. It's by the director who did Uncut Gems and Good Guys, which are great movies. Yeah. And it's The Rock starring in it. He's playing a UFC guy, and they have him in a ton of makeup, so he does not really look like The Rock, and he's giving an actual performance in the trailer so far, at least. So I was like, all right. Yeah. They got him acting. Yeah. He's doing it. He's not just being Dwayne The Rock Johnson. That is a character he's playing. Yeah. And it makes sense for him to be that big, because part of the problem with The Rock is anytime I see him on screen, I'm like, no human looks like that. Yeah. There's no other person in the world that looks like The Rock.
Batista does a pretty good job of that as well.
Yes, yeah.
He's tried really hard to fit in, and he hasn't lost any. He's still a giant.
No, he's actually lost a good chunk of his weight now. Oh, there was an interview where somebody was like, "You've lost a noticeable amount." He's still big dude, but he's not the massively ripped guy. Let me see if I can pull it up.
Yeah, I haven't seen him since. I don't know when the interview was from. It could have been from ages ago, but he was still a giant.
This is him, huge here. Here we go.
Oh yeah, he's much more.
He's way more
human looking, I would say.
Yeah.
Because look at the picture next to it. His neck is the size of
his neck is a tree trunk.
Literally giant. Oh my god, go back for a second. Oh no, yeah, you can go. Which one? The one in him in the ring. Oh my god, he's a beast.
He's massive.
Jeez
Hang on.
Louise.
I'm gonna pull it up so they can see what we're talking about.
Yeah, gosh. Jeez Louise. He's like an entire wall.
Yeah, that's what he was before. Like that's what he used to look like.
Well, I do remember him in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right.
This was him. But like at the time, you don't really like take into account that because a lot of things in fantasy movies are just fantasy things.
Huge like that.
And I'm like, oh, that's just him.
But now this is what he looks like now. He's like his neck is still huge, but he's not like the wall that he was before. He's like lost weight. He like said in an interview about it. He said something like, I need to start taking better care of myself, and he's like, and I needed to drop that weight and stuff. And I assume it also gets him more opportunities for more roles.
I'm sure it does, like a wider variety of roles, because like it does kind of make it. I mean, how believable it is it to have like a regular house dad that's just like he goes to the office from his 9-to-5 job and also looks like that.
Yeah,
that's probably not gonna happen.
That's part of the issue with The Rock is just like he I can never believe he's anything except The Rock or like just a mound of muscle man that he has to be.
Right, he has to be in an action movie because that's the only industry that he would reasonably be in, is either protection or something or other.
But in this movie, he's a UFC fighter, so it makes sense on why he's that big. And he's got a ton of makeup on, so he's not like. I mean, he's The Rock. When you can tell he's The Rock, but he is not like he does not immediately jump out as there's The Rock.
Yeah, there's The Rock
doing The Rock face.
Yeah.
He's not shifting the powers of the DC universe or whatever. Whatever was happening with Black Adam.
Yeah. I always find it interesting when there's the people. So there's like several types of actors that, I mean, obviously there's a bunch of types of actors. Mm-hmm. But I always find it interesting because there's like some actors that you're like, oh, it's The Rock as playing The Rock in 37 movies. And then there's actors where they'll go through their roles, like they'll have like an interview with someone and they'll go through the roles and I'm like, that was them? And then they'll go to the next character and I'm like, that was them?
Christian Bale is that.
Yeah, Christian Bale, he tries a lot. Well, there's quite a few that just have like this like incognito mode where you've never even connected. Those are the same people. It's unbelievable.
It's Christian Bale. I can just be anyone. He was both Batman and Dick Cheney. And then there's like Jim Carrey, The Rock, and Jack Black, where those three are like, I don't know their characters' names. I know that was Jim Carrey, that was The Rock, and that was Jack Black.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's very impressive.
I think Batista has diversified his method as an actor. Yeah. I mean, like, compare Drax to the guy from Blade Runner to Glass Onion. Like, those are three pretty different characters that he's nailing.
Well, but he's actively trying to improve. So, like, he really is trying to go into each role. He's learning. I mean, as he goes, you can see him learning. Yeah. And he is learning fast because he wants to learn fast. It's remarkable, like, what people, when they want to do something, it's remarkable how well you can do it. Like, it's incredible.
I think John Cena will become that, honestly. Because, like, he was... In Peacemaker, he does a great job with any emotional scenes, but also he was in like the comedy movie like Ricky Stenicki or something like that, and he's just absolutely just being John Cena, but it is a very in like a fun way that works. Like so, it's like I think John Cena will become the next Batista of like wrestler turned actual very good actor.
Right. Are they? I think there's like quite a few of them because they're all like showmen.
Yeah, the I forget his name off the top of my head. The guy from the movie They Live, the main guy, was a wrestler. I'm sure somebody in chat will say it. Probably Logan. The guy from
Logan, don't let us down here.
The guy from They Live was a wrestler, and he did acting for a little while too. I think They Live was his biggest movie he did, but he was also in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He played like a recurring role in there.
Yeah, it's interesting how much crossover there seems to be between wrestling.
Roddy Piper, there it is.
Good work, Logan. Gosh, on it.
Truly believe he didn't have to Google it. I know in his heart that was he got that off the dome. I went to the movie Amateur.
Went to the movie? What's Amateur?
I don't know what Amateur is.
I've never seen it. Is it like a recent movie?
Yeah.
Was it cool?
Was it good? How good was it?
Gosh, he's such a beast.
God, we pull up Batista and his massive pectorals just jump at you.
He's like 4 foot wide. He's like, oh my God. So we went to the CIA movie?
Amateur movie.
That doesn't help me, Nebula. I'm sorry. I don't know. No, I'm not up with the times.
Oh, I haven't even seen this before.
I haven't even seen it. Where is it from? 2025?
Yeah, it's new. It's Rami Malek. I like Rami Malek.
Oh, it's still showing in theaters.
We can go play it.
Go see it.
Let's go
I
see it
didn't
right
even
now.
know. How come they haven't seen anything about it?
Their marketing is just bad, I guess.
Yeah, what the heck?
It's got John Bernthal in it. John Bernthal's
Yeah.
in 2 movies in theaters currently. They just
Yeah,
haven't
and they
maximized
have, wow,
that.
they've got a lot of good actors
Lawrence
in it.
Fishburne.
Yeah.
We're just talking about how much we love him.
Yeah. I mean, he's always amazing, so, like, dang.
What
How
is-
come I haven't seen this? This is literally tailored, or, like, exactly to me. What the heck?
What is the worst movie you've ever seen?
Aragon.
Mm,
It's the only movie I've ever walked out of.
really?
Yep.
Wow.
I was so disappointed in that movie that I walked out. I think. I don't know if I've ever seen anything worse. I tend to not go see movies that I don't think are gonna be good. I'm not like, I mean, I used to go watch a lot of movies, but I've had pretty good luck with movies, I would say. That one was terrible.
Yeah.
Everything about it was horrible. The actors were terrible. The setting was terrible. The
effects were terrible.
The effects were terrible. The storyline was terrible. The references back to the original book material was awful. Like, it was awful. The whole thing was terrible. And I walked out.
They really bombed on that one.
What's your word? What was the worst movie you've ever seen?
I mean, Minecraft is one of them for sure.
Yeah, I didn't see that, so haha, dodged that bullet.
I think the other one, which is funny because it has one of my favorite jokes in any movie ever, but it is Beau is Afraid. I couldn't stand that movie.
I've never seen that one either.
That it has Joaquin Phoenix in it. It's made by the guy who did Hereditary and Midsommar, which are 2 banger movies. So I was like, all right, I'm expecting good stuff. And it's like a 3 hour. Wait, what movie did you walk out if I bit into a chip and couldn't hear?
Oh, Aragon.
The
The dragon movie. It's based off of the book series Aragon, Eldest Brissinger, all those ones. I read all those books, so I was like, again, soft spot in my heart over here. So I came in with like the gentle flower of hope, which was burned to a crisp. It was so bad.
Oh yeah, hot trash. Tom Cruise, War of the Worlds is my least favorite movie. I've seen the last 30 minutes of that movie when I walked in to the living room. My dad was watching it, and spoilers for a bad movie. At the end, it's like it's like Tom Cruise, and he's got like his daughter and his wife and his son fully die. You watch them explode in a building. And then at the end, they get to the town that they're trying to get to the entire movie. And then out of some random building walks his wife and son, who are suddenly alive. And they all reunite, and then the camera pulls up, and the credits roll. And I was like,
oh my god.
What?
Yeah, what the
It's
heck?
like, what the hell?
Never,
so close to doing for Nosferatu.
Yeah,
Wow.
never walked out of a movie. Yeah, that was the only time I ever walked out. It's so hard. I don't feel like, I don't know, normally I'm just like, it's fine.
The only time I've walked out of movies when I was forced to, because I convinced my friend's mom to take us to go see a disaster movie, which is just one of those like R-rated parody movies, and she made us go walk out, and I was like, oh, I like that movie. It was funny.
Roller Gator, absolutely the worst movie I've ever seen. Never
Hilarious.
heard of it.
Walked out of Hostel. I haven't heard of Hostel either.
I walked out of Hostel.
Beau is Afraid is the worst movie I've seen. It's 3 hours long, and it is just like a weird odyssey that just drags and drags and drags and drags. And I like slow movies, but that was a brutal one to get through. And the beginning was very fun, and then it just got worse and worse and worse as it went on.
I had a really terrible movie experience. I went to go see the Barbie movie, which in itself is fine. Like, the movie it is what it is. Like, I'm not a huge fan of it. I didn't like the movie. But the problem is that I took it wasn't, to be fair, it wasn't my idea. So I couldn't be blamed, which is great, because it was bad. But I took a lot of my clients and their kids.
Oh, you told me this.
And so there's all these, like, young girls and their mothers and all this stuff, and we went to go see Barbie, and it kind of shoves a certain agenda down the audience's throat. Like, the movie's very loud about what it's trying to get across, and oh my gosh, watching that with like kids was a little. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. It wasn't even my idea to go, and I felt so bad that I was
guilty.
like, I was watching like a political speech on like whatever where they wanted to get. Oh my gosh, I was like, no, please. It was so stressful for me. Gosh, it really was very stressful. But anyways, the movie was, I mean, it wasn't a bad movie or anything, but like it just ended up being the whole thing was quite. It wasn't what I was expecting. That's for sure. I thought it was just gonna be light and happy and fun, a little bit like a Minecraft movie.
Yeah.
I thought it was just gonna be a Barbie movie.
Yeah.
And they didn't really
it's
say any of that in the trailer. In the trailer, they didn't really warn people like what you're getting into, so it just kind of blindsided me.
Yeah.
Not great. It was not great.
Okay. Jaded's brain. Logan says Santa Claus and the Ice Cream Bunny is the worst thing my eyes have ever seen or
What?
ever beheld. And then Jaded responds with but MST3K classic. Are we counting MST3K movies as like movies we've seen? Because I don't count those. I just watch it for the funny robots. Do you know what MST3K is?
Nope.
It's Mystery Science Theater 3000, and it is it was on some not PBS but like local network that then became an actual show over time. And it was a guy. The plot of it is a guy. Mystery Science Theater can only do so much. The plot of it is it's a guy who gets trapped in a satellite by a robot with two other robots, and he's being forced to watch, or not by a robot. He's trapped up there by a mad scientist and her assistant, and him and two robots are forced to watch bad movies. But the whole time, it's like, if you ever see the format of like somebody's watching something and then there's like a theater chairs in front of them with three people sitting on the side. Right. That's where that comes from. Is they're like, it's just them watching the movie and then like loudly making jokes about it the entire time. So the point of you watching Mystery Science Theater is that you are watching it you're watching this bad movie that you know is bad, but there's three comedians who are telling jokes the entire time. So I'm not there to watch whatever horrible movie they're watching. I'm there to watch MST3K say funny stuff. You must watch the MST3K Space Mutiny. It's amazing, the original one. That's funny. The plot of it isn't like it's a sci-fi and like a PBS crossover. It's sci-fi PBS. They have like actual puppets there the entire time. They had a Netflix revival which I watched, and that's how I got introduced to MST3K, and I really liked it a lot. So it's very fun.
I love these. This is a great view of chat right now because there's so many things that I'm like, these are words. My favorite riff tracks is Jurassic Park with special guest Weird Owl, and like you must watch MST3K Space Mutiny, and I'm like, it's just, I'm like, obviously I know who Weird Owl is, and Jurassic Park, but it just ends up being like this whole thing where I'm like, think really hard, Bryn.
They're saying things like
they are saying words in orders that you are supposed to understand.
These are full, complete sentences and thoughts.
Okay, I did not know there was a Jurassic Park with
Weird Al.
Weird Al in it. That's news to me.
I don't watch a ton of that kind of like riffing off of movies and stuff. I just MST3K was the only one I really did. But it's a fun genre. Also, it's late at night, and once again, like last week, really got pee.
Well, and he's got to do a lot of prep for tomorrow, I've heard.
I got so much prep tomorrow, and I gotta wake up early tomorrow. It's a whole thing. My life. You know what? I've done this all by choice, so I can't complain. This is all by my own hand.
And you're only adding more to your plate. So
I truly am.
Good. Best of luck over there.
Well, Logan, I'm glad you asked what's tomorrow, because tomorrow is Secrets Between the Stars. New episode is tomorrow night with the whole crew for us. Logan is on that show, and Sully as well. But Sully, you're here for the amazing outro that I'm really good at. Sunday is Strange Aeons. If you want to come and join for that as well, it's a Pathfinder 2nd Edition horror adventure. It's a great time. Sully and Bryn are both on that one. And you can join us next week for Tuesday. We'll be back to do something. We never determine what we do ahead of time before, like 2 days before. Yep. 2 hours before, or one of us will be like, did we plan something? And be like, no.
We should. But, life gets in the way of
That's
things.
just how it be on this earth. If you like the show and want to support us, follow us on social media at UGT Show and everything. If you're watching on YouTube, if you can like, comment, and subscribe, that'd be great help. It's completely free. You don't have to pay for it. It's the best way for us to get out there and get engagement. If you're watching on Twitch, follow us if you can. If you subscribe if you want to, that'd be great help as well. We have a Patreon, $5 a month, to get you access to everything, including our post shows that we have after all our campaigns. Those are absolutely unhinged. One of them, the thumbnail for it just says in big caps, Corey is spoiling One Piece. It's genuinely such a funny image. Hey, look at that. I only talked about One Piece for like 5 minutes on this episode. That's a record for me.
I don't even know who you're going to be next week.
I don't know who I am right now.
I don't know.
I'm a different
You may not
man.
even be the same person. You'll walk in and I'll be like, who is that? Like, what the heck happened
I'm
to
coming
this
in with
man?
a business suit, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm here to do business now. I put this tomfoolery away.
Yeah, I have changed my whole outlook. I really do. If you changed your obsession with One Piece to like anything else,
To taxes.
boy howdy, you'd be like a billionaire. It's unbelievable.
If I dedicated as much time to One Piece as I did a diet, then I would be unstoppable.
It's like no, okay. So there's these. I know you had to go to the restroom.
It's okay, it's okay.
Really fast. But there's all these these videos on YouTube that are like people who have exploited games to like the ultimate thing, and they're like, yeah. If you do exactly this and exactly this and exactly this and exactly this and exactly this, then you can do this like cool thing. And I'm like, okay. You need to channel this into something productive because you could be employed by like the CIA with how much
You could be employed, period.
You could be employed. Your attention to detail is phenomenal. Your persistence in the unknown is unrivaled. You figured this out through sheer I don't even know how people get to these places because they're like there's 37 steps. Each one has to be incredibly precise to get an effect that is like just totally random. I'm like, how did you get there in the first place?
What happened?
What happened here? Anyway, that's how my thing is going. Yes.
Jay did really quick also, we have not, but she said, oh wait, I need to know, did you ever watch any Food Wars? It was talked about at one point with everyone chatting. We haven't yet.
No, we haven't.
Kind of forgot about that,
Yeah.
but we definitely should.
We should.
If there was a way for us to stream it, if we could do like a live watch along of like
that'd
the
be
first episode of Food
Yeah,
Wars.
Food
that'd be
Wars
so
and
funny.
also a dating sim. I would love to do
A
that.
double whammy of things we cannot show on screen.
Yeah.
I'm
So
like,
we should do it. It would be so fun. My hyperfocus only applies to things that won't make me money. Fair.
One Piece. Magic the Gathering drains me money.
Yeah, sometimes it has the opposite effect.
Sometimes I go in debt.
Yeah.
With that, everyone, I believe that's everything. We have a shop if you want to buy any merch, like the one Bryn is wearing, or also this one. It's a big smiley face. It's Undeniably Good Time.
$5.
You can designed by humans at UGT Show. So, with that, thank you, Jaded. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. We hope to see you next week. We'll see you guys around. Have a good night, everybody.